What time is it? It's journey time, and time for another creative journey using Stampin' Up! Products. Hello, my name is Kathy Haynes. Today we're going to be creating this magical, terrific Toadstools bendy card. Now last year we did a double bendy for the Silent Night or Stars, I don't remember the name of it, but I'll list the video up here so you can see it, where it had a bendy mechanism on both sides. But this time we're just going to pop out one side, so when it stands up it bends, and then the back side is just going to be a flat sentiment with a couple pop dots or dimensionals. We're also going to learn how we're going to use the technique of daubing ink onto a stamped rubber stamp and getting so much more dimension, if you can see that, out of it than just a stamp. So this is just stamped. This is stamped in Melon Mambo, and although it's adorable, look at the difference when you use a couple colors. So we're going to be doing that later on in this video. We're also going to be using the Forever Fern die set, which is my forever favorite. And this is just some generic ribbon I had around. But we're using also that makes it so, to me, so amazing, is the free DSP, 6x6 DSP that was in the Celebration catalog that just ended. So for a $60 order, you could have gotten this paper absolutely free. See how cute it is? I've used most of it, so you get a lot. I don't remember how many, but some really cute papers. Alrighty. So that's where we use that for here. We're going to use the You Are Magical stamp using the, I don't know what it's called, but daubing stamp, the multicolored daubing on stamped images, on rubber stamps. And then back here, you can put whatever sentiment you want, but just a little thank you. Now, this one has gone through 3 workshops, so it has some added color and spots to it, but it's still just beautiful, and I'm still going to send it out. We're also going to use, which I thought was perfect, if you see the different colors that pop up on this, these were retired. So anytime, you know, Stampin' Up! Has great embellishments, and so I grabbed these. Aren't those adorable? A lot of times I have retired embellishments, and I'm not sure if this is retired or not, but when they do go in the clearance wrap, I grab a ton of them. All right, so let's get started on this adorable, and it does stand up. So just kind of go like that, and it will stand up card. All right, so I'm going to get started by moving some things out of my way. I'm going to put my sample right there so I can remember how to do it. These are the colors we're using today: Melon Mambo, Crushed Curry, Old Olive, a little bit of Smoky Slate, and also a pumpkin pie. Let me grab that. Pumpkin pie. So those are the colors we're going to be using today. What we're going to start with is making our base. So let me find my card kit that I probably buried under everything right here. Let me go grab another. Hold on. Okay, so this one will be using, here it is, because I like this paper better. Now, I did make some kits using some different papers. So, for instance, this one instead. So, I'm curious to see how they'll come out. I'm in the middle of doing this one using a different paper out of that pack. So see, you can really mix it up and make them adorable. This was actually a video I started, got this far, and didn't have my rubber stamps or anything, so I started over. So we're going to continue on our way and do this card. I hope you think it's magical, just like I do. So we have our base. We have 4 strips And these, I'll have all the dimensions below. And these are also the free DSP in that set. The back had really nice wood, but I really wanted this. And these go here inside. So it just continues the mushroom toadstool theme. Okay, so let me put that right there. So we have 4 pieces of DSP. I believe it's 1.5 by 5. Yes, 1.5 by 5. So that made it possible. So that would be every 2 is 3 inches. So out of a 6 by 6 inch, I get 4 strips. And then I just cut them down to 5 1/4 because our card is 5.5 inches tall. So you're able to use the whole sheet. There's no waste except for a little strip at the bottom, which I say save, save, save. Okay, we have that there. We're going to be using the same designer paper, and it is, like I said, the directions will be in the bottom, but I believe this is 4 1/4 by 4.5. But don't believe me, go by what I put down at the bottom. And what I'm going to do is score, or what I did do was score a 1/4 inch on each side so that it's scored. And you could use this side of the paper too. So many choices. And then I took it over, and so with a die cut circle or a punch, whatever you have on hand, I cut out a circle that is about a 1/4 inch from each side. So I have it placed right in the center. It's big enough that you can go inside, see the magical things inside, and it gives you plenty of room to play. So about the biggest circle you can get. I would leave at least a 1/4 inch on each side. All right, so that's that. And we also have, we saved the circle because the circle is going to go on the back. So no waste, no waste. We're going to use this side, same as the other one. We have 2 pieces here for the back sentiment that this will go on. And we're going to start out with 4 pieces of Melon Mambo cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you cut the paper, the whole sheet of paper in half. Here. Cut your paper in half at 5 1/2 inches, and then cut it again at 4 1/4. Okay, so you need 1 full sheet for each card. Now you could score these. They are 4 1/4, so you could score them at 2 1/8 in the middle and fold them. But it's really important to have all the sides perfect. So I prefer to do it by hand. So here we go. Again, I don't have can't find my bone folder. So I'm going to use a flat-edged, this is Stampin' Up! Acrylic block, and that will do. Just be sure that you crease them really well. It's really important for the mechanism. Okay, so it looks really straight to me. Start off and go out towards the edges. That's 2, 3, and the last one, 4. Okay. Now you're going to use either Tombow or Tear and Tape, and I prefer the Tombow because it gives you some leeway, or it gives you forgiveness. And so what I want to do is I want to take 2 of these, and I want to make a T. Okay, so I'm going to put adhesive here, adhere it here straight, and then I'm going to do 2 T's because we have 2 more pieces. So let's get started. So just on either side, just put all the way to the edge, and then really good in the middle too. And you're going to want to line these up. So I like to do it this way. And push, hold for a second. All right, so I have my T, and see, it's perfect. And I'm going to lay that down. And just be careful that you don't shift it when you're pressing. But I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to do the same thing, if you didn't see it, to this side. So I'm going to make another T. So I'm going to put glue on one side. And I don't think it matters which side, because you can flip-flop them. You just want a T. So you know you want to do it, and you could do it. I think this way is the best. Put that down. Okay, like that. And then like this. Okay, hold it. So I'm kind of pinching it. I've got my T. Don't mind my hand shaking. I'm just on some kind of crazy medication right now. And it makes my hand shake. But it's just temporary. So don't unsubscribe. Okay, so I have my two T's. Now I have to put my two T's together to make a plus sign. So I'm going to lay this flat. This is where the opening is. So this is, I don't want to use this flat side. I want to get rid of that part there. So that's where you see the two edges come together. I'm going to lay it flat. I'm going to put Tombow all the way around and in the middle. Okay. Now I'm going to take my T and turn it upside down and line it up perfectly. And this is where Tombow is great, because it gives you time to fix it. But you want all your edges to be perfectly straight. So when you do your plus sign, it's completely even. Okay. And I have a little piece off here. So once this dries, I'll go cut it off. So I missed to cut that piece a little crooked. See that? That's okay. No harm, no foul. Okay, now we have our piece. Now we're going to go back to laying it flat. Okay, either side. And we're going to put our designer series paper. So here's this, the dimensions will be below, and I'm going to put it right there. So I'm going to put my Tombow on. You really want to make it stick, so don't be shy with the, not too much. Never use too much Tombow, because anytime you use too much glue or liquid adhesive, it warps your paper and it just makes it look like a kindergarten project. So you want it crisp. So Tombow works, but just make sure you get a lot of the areas and hold it down. Okay, great. Now we can go on to, we're going to put this right here that we already have and kind of eye it. Okay, so wait a minute so you understand, because I'm skipping one portion. Let me find my guts. I have no guts. I'm sure I do. Let me look inside here. Okay, give me 1 second. We've lost our guts. All right, don't give up on me. I'm just looking for some guts. So I will use my leftovers and we will figure this out. So here I have a whole package of these. So these are cut out of the Forever Fern. So if you have that set, it is my favorite set. So let me find a full one. I will forever be using Forever Fern. And I want to find some foliage. Okay, so here, when you have cut out this piece, it's just like this. All right, so that's what I had in my guts, in my kit, but I don't know why it's missing. And pretend these are the same color. And you're gonna cut the top 3 off. So this is a die cut from Forever Fern, and you're gonna cut the top 3 off. Okay, so this is what's left over, and this is the top 3. All right, so now I'm gonna take that piece, cut off the top 3, and then I'm also from Forever Fern, I have a special one. I apologize. I have no idea what happened to my pieces. Look here and see if there's a package in here. Sometimes when you have workshops, people kind of dig into your kits, and I don't know where it is. But anyway, we're going to start with this one. And then we're going to have another piece that is with Forever Fern. And this time we're going to use this piece here instead. You can see on this one, I used the one that goes like that, but we're just going to use 2 of these instead. Those are still with Forever Fern, so use whatever foliage you have. And I think I'll put another leaf in. So I have my ferns. Now what I want to do is I want to mold them, because you want to give, this card is exciting because I've given it life, okay? So everything should not just look like punched out paper. So put these on here upside down, and then take up each piece, and you're going to spray it off camera, just one little mist at a time. So one little mist on each piece, and we're going to mold these pieces. So whatever foliage you have, if you have Forever Ferns, there's new ones in the catalog that are look just as good, but I see no sense of getting, because I still love Forever Ferns. So these are all upside down, and I'm going to take them and mold them. So I'm just going to, when you put the water on them, then the shape is going to stay. And I'm going to be doing a molding tutorial soon. I know I said that a long time ago, but I will link it. You'll be able to find it here, so that I'll go over a bunch of molding techniques. But we're just giving our foliage, our leaves, life, one by doing this, and the next by brushing some color onto them. So I'm going to put them on this mat, and I'm going to take a blending brush, okay, and I'm going to use the Old Olive. Okay, and so since I want you to know this, since all I can find is blue right here, and we don't want that blue on my project, I get these in the cooking section, the kitchen section of the Dollar Tree, and they're perfect. You just rub them on here, and it takes off the last, the color. So now let's go to Old Olive. That is not Old Olive. And we're just going to brush some life onto this. I'm tapping. I really just want to get some color on there. You can go in circles. Normally, do this first and then mold. Okay. I went ahead of myself. So tap, tap, tap. And then turn them over upside down and mold them. But for the sake of time, we'll just bend them with our fingers this time because I did straighten them out. Give them time to dry. Okay, but you just want them to have some life. See how they just stand up now? They're not just, and I love my craft mat for that. So next we're going to take the 3, the one with the 3, and that is the one that goes inside the circle. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take what we just did, fold the edges in. I haven't put anything adhesive or anything, but I just want to lay it flat and kind of eye where it needs to go. So I know that it needs to go right about there. Okay, and so I just keep that like that, then turn it over, keep an eye where it's supposed to go, put a little bit, and again, I apologize for the shaky hands, just a temporary setback. I'm going to put that right there. So just to be sure, yep, that's a good place for it. And maybe even scoot it over more. Okay, and now I'm going to take my butterfly. So I've cut out 2 butterflies from the beautiful butterflies, which I'm going to be showing you a couple of beautiful cards. I'll show you the examples towards the end of this video. So these are from the beautiful butterflies, which they're gorgeous. And the same thing, I just kind of want to mold them. And I'm going to put her, it's a her, she has a pink body, right about there. Okay, so that's what it should look like. You can kind of see if that's where you want it by doing that. Now I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to put tear tape on either side of this on the front side. So lay it flat, put some tear tape on the front side, not going over the scored line. Okay, so that's important. All right, now using the picker tool, I'm going to peel that up. See how easy that is? I love seeing, you know, Facebook posts where they show everybody's desk when they're done crafting, because I do explode. I just go crazy. That's why I can't find anything right now. So we're going to go here. We have this. Now this is important. You want this to lay flat. So I'm kind of with my pinkies holding it down flat. And you want this piece to be flat also. And you want to center it. But you want it to be flat. Even though it's going to bend, keeping it flat is what's going to make it do that. So I start like at the top, make it flat, and then come down here and pull it and make it as flat as I possibly can. Okay, because the flatter it is, the more bend you're going to get. See that? Isn't that crazy? So be sure that's an integral part, that you lay that part down as flat as possible. All right, now we're already 23 minutes in. Oh, holy moly. Okay, and this is the piece that came out of the middle, and that's going to go here in just a little bit. So I'm going to put that aside, and now we're going to do our mushrooms. So for the mushrooms, we want a piece of scrap paper that I just showed you with the mushroom on it. So let me grab that. I'm just going to use any piece, and I'm going to stamp my mushrooms. So this is the part that makes a difference. So this is the part where they come out like this. And of course, I've added some clear gems to them so they really sparkle. But this will give them life. Now, first thing I'm going to do, the big one, I'm going to use pumpkin pie. Sorry. And I'm going to ink it up really well. Okay, so it's really inked up. Now I'm going to take a dauber, and I'm going to use Melon Mambo, because that's the color we're using, pumpkin pie, Melon Mambo. I'm going to ink up a dauber really well. And I'm just going to dot, so tap, 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 color onto the sides. So first go around the whole side. Don't worry, because we're not going to, you have a little bit of time to do this. And then I want to put a little bit, just to, like the edge of it, right there. Okay, so each time you do it, it's going to come out different. Let's see what we did. Now you're going to huff. You're going to, sorry for my head, pull it up to your mouth and huff. And just like you do when you want to clean your glasses. Okay, and that moisturizes the ink again. And there you go. So isn't that cute? But it gets better because I'm going to punch it out with my punch. Now I had that strip, so I could have done all of them at once. Goes in upside down and punch it out. And now it's still not perfect, so I'm going to take the dauber and add some more color to it. So see, using those different techniques just is going to give it more life. Okay, so I've done the edges, and there's my piece. And it's just so much more vibrant than just that one before. Now I'm going to take the smaller mushroom, and I'm doing the same thing, only I'm going to do the back, the first stamp in crushed curry. Okay, I'm going to stamp it right about here and see how that does. Whoops, that's how it would look, so never mind that. So crushed curry, I forgot all my steps. And now I used StazOn, yes I did. Okay, so it's still, even though it's stained, it's still good, I just can't see. I was trying a technique and it did not work. So I always have to find something new to wow my crafters. Okay, now I'm gonna huff, just like you do on your glasses. How was that? And I'm gonna put it right there and there. And like I said, it still doesn't look magical, but we're gonna punch it out. Okay. So line it up, punch it out. I should have had the strip. I wouldn't be wasting this paper, but it is what it is. Okay. So I could stamp another mushroom using sticky mat, but I won't. And here I even did it a little bit off, and that's okay, because look at that magic. You won't even know that I was off. And you're going to go right to the edges. You don't really want to come in too much. There I have my 2 mushrooms. Isn't that fun? Now the last one I'm going to stamp and punch is with gray. So I am using Smoky Slate. Other people liked green or whatever color you think, but I like the Smoky Slate. So I'm going to stamp that right there, put that right there. And I know that I'm going to have to cut this piece to do this. So I'm going to cut it like that. So I have a handle. And now I'm going to stick it in here. You can see. And it needs to be closer. So the bottom one is just a little tricky. There we go. So you may want to fussy cut instead. Some people did at my workshops. They thought it was easier to fussy cut. But there we go. Pull it up. Pop. We have 1 stem. And then speaking of fussy cutting, let me find it. We are going to fussy cut the big one. That's a small one. Where are you? So I promised to get it more together by my next video. I need to really straighten things up in here. So here's the bigger one. I'm going to stamp it. And then I'm going to fussy cut. So using your favorite scissors, go ahead and fussy cut this one out. I'm going very close because all the other ones are very close. Stampin' Up! Made it so there's no white edge around these. So that's how I'm going to fussy cut this. All right. Some people love fussy cutting. Some of my crafters say they do it to relax at night watching TV. I am not a fussy cutter. I do not find this relaxing, but this one's not too difficult at all, so it doesn't take much. So it's not as stressful for those of us that find fussy cutting a bit stressful. All right, let's get rid of these pieces. We now have our 4 pieces, but now I want more dimension to my stems. So I'm going to use the old-fashioned sponge on this one, and just sponge. See how perfect that is? It really gives a crisp side to it. Right? I'm putting more on one side than the other, so it kind of makes it look rounded. What a difference, don't you agree? And here we go again. More in on this side, and then less on the other side. Okay, just get the edges so they're not white. And more on the bottom and the top. Okay, and this one probably more on the top because you want the shadow of the mushroom top, the button top. So make sure you put more on top. Okay, now we're ready to put them together. Let's find the sample and see where they go. So we're going to glue them to the front of each mushroom. Okay, so let's take some Tombow, and of course the bigger stem. Whoa, slow down, Kathy. Not slow down, but slow down put it kind of bent at an angle, the shaking. And like I said, it's just from the medication. Okay, just a little bit there, a little bit there. Okay, we have our 2 mushrooms. All right, so let's finish our front now that we have that. So first we're going to stamp one more thing. Let me grab those. Put my stamps aside. Put these away. I'm going to leave out the pumpkin pie and the Melon Mambo. Those are the only 2 colors we're going to use next. So let me put these away and close them. Okay. And what we're going to do, we have our butterfly in there. We're going to glue our mushrooms across, but first we're going to take this. Look, I just did a whole line of Melon Mambo. I'm going to have to figure out how to fix that. Some sparkly things, what do you think? Okay, here's the Melon Mambo, here's the pumpkin pie. And then I just need that little strip that goes right in the middle. And it is, hold on a minute. Let me grab it. Okay, so these both die cuts came from the Beautiful Butterflies bundle. All right, so we're going to use the big one, and I have the stamp that says "You Are Magical." All right, and I'm going to stamp it up in pumpkin pie, and then again I'm going to take a dauber, ink it up really good in Melon Mambo, and put it across just on the top. Just give it some, you're going to give it a ombre look, I guess. Okay, then once again, we're going to huff and stamp right in the middle. You are magical. Okay. And I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it just has, just the colors just are moved. It's just magical. So we're going to put that aside, and then for the back, I won't just stamp because it was so little, but you could do the same thing, but just a little thank you. And I'm just going to do that in Melon Mambo. But you could, of course, do the same thing to that. for the sake of time, we're just going to put just a little thank you right there. This is where we're going to bring out the stars I was talking about, and my pick tool. Wow, it really, I turned it a little bit and a lot came out, so I'm going to push it down. But this is, I just love my pick tool. So now I'm going to go to the sequence stars, pick one up. So for the big strip, I'm using the bigger on this set. So there, there. And then for the little sentiment, I'm going to use the smaller. And I'm just kind of putting them that way. So they just kind of go. Does that make sense? Okay, so we got everything there ready. Now let's get started building this part. So push that off to the side. Now the first thing I want to do is put a piece like, I would say this way. And depending on what you have, just put some foliage at the top. Again, I used this rounded piece that was in Forever Ferns, but I couldn't find it just now, so I'm gonna wing it, go rogue, and I'm just gonna put one piece here. I could have cut it down and made it like that, but I'm just going to try and see how this looks, because I think it's going to give it more dimension. Now we're going to put our mushrooms on. So I want to put the big one straight to the paper, but you're only going to put Tombow at the bottom so it doesn't go over this line. Okay, so we're going to start it right there, and then looking, you can see where you want it. I think that's a good spot. And then for the smaller mushroom, I'm going to use a little tiny bit of the, let me see, I think I'm going to use a mini. You could use the foam strips. I have them here, but they're a little too high for me for this. They're perfect for shaker cards, but for, this, I think I'm going to cut a mini in half, or I'm just going to cut a little strip like this right on the edge of my mini glue dots. And you just want about 1/2 inch, and probably even smaller, but I'm going to put that right on the stem. Okay. And cut it as small as you can. And see, we got some overage, so I'm going to put on some gray to cover that up. Now, I could actually use a gray blends, would be easy too, but I'm just gonna, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna tap this on my pad to give it some color. Don't tap on the bottom where the adhesive is, but that side kind of stuck out. So I'm gonna put something like that, put this like that. How do you like that? So that this one kind of pops up. And then I'm going to put another leaf right about here, making sure it doesn't hang over the edge. So I'm going to put some Tombow. And again, it's your garden. So you put whatever leaves you want on your mushroom garden. All right, now I'm going to take the magical, and I'm going to put two glue dots. Let me find my glue dots on each side, or you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use the minis, but you could use glue dots or minis. You guys know I just use the minis. That's how it is here. So, hold on. Can somebody write me real quick what I did with the minis? There they are. Found them. Sorry, folks. I'm going to put and you got to do it right on the edge, on the very edge. Okay, so I'm going to move this one even further out onto the edge. Pull the strips off. Then lay this flat, and I'm going to put this right here. Line it up. You are magical. Whoop. So just line it up and center it down a little bit. Okay. Now, quickly, we're going to make a bow out of ribbon and put it right there in just a second. First, I'm going to turn it over and we're going to do the back while I'm looking over my table looking for my ribbon. And I'm going to, this is my sentiment piece. I'm going to glue that there. Okay. And layer that onto my pumpkin pie. That's why we like Tombow, it's forgiving. Okay. And then I'm going to sponge some color, so using a dauber or the brush, whichever you like, just a little bit of color on the edge. Okay. And you can choose between the three that we use, so the pumpkin pie or the melon mambo, or you could use the yellow, it would work too. Then I'm going to place my, get my sentiment circle. And this is why I should do my videos before all the workshops. It just gets crazy around here, if you know what I mean. So now I want to stamp my little 3 mushrooms. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp it up in pumpkin pie. And then I'm going to daub some color on it. So, Melon Mambo on the top of them. Just to give it dimension, I guess. I'm going to huff. Why am I huffing? Because it took longer for the stamp to go to the paper, so some of the ink may have dried. Okay, and there you go. See the difference? Isn't that beautiful? Now we're going to do our stem. So it's this piece here, and that's going to be in the gray. And you want to line it up. That's why we love stamping up clear blocks. So you just want to, excuse my head if it's in the way, but you want to line it up. And it goes off the paper. There we go. Isn't that cute? Now I want dimensionals on the back of this. Three. All right, I'm going to line that up so it's up and down, and then I'm going to place this on top of it. And then I'm going to use my Tombow. And glue this directly. Or you could do it vice versa. You could pop up the DSP, but I liked it just flat. Okay. I've already got an ink spot on there. Okay, and now we want to put mini dimensionals on our just a little thank you. So where did I throw them? Right here. So one on each edge. Actually, this one you could just put them anywhere because you're just going to pop this up on the pop-up. And putting it right side up. You could sponge this if you want, or if you want a cleaner look, just leave it like that. Put that right there. Okay, so we have just a little thank you. And now we need to put our pink butterfly right there. So it'll look just like this, okay? With a line across it now. So I'm putting my pink butterfly together later and putting the orange body on it, and it goes right there, and then that's our back. What do you think of that? Then we're going to take this piece, our pumpkin pie layer, and we're going to lay it on the opposite end completely of here. Okay, and that is how you make this card, with the exception of the 4 pieces of designer series paper, the for the insides. So the dimensions and everything will be inside. So after you have it together or before, you just center them on either side, and then you have this magical card. What do you think? Now, you have to use some crystals. Now, I don't have any clear ones from Stampin' Up, but I got these off of Temu, and I'm really happy with them. So as you can see, I just, with my hands shaking like they are today, I'm not going to even try. But see how I put them? Can you see that? Just like 3 here, couple here, couple there, and it just made it sparkle, caught the sparkle from here, and I think it's just a beautiful card. Oh, we have to put our ribbon up here. So a quick tutorial for those who want to stay on. Those who don't may leave, but I'm going to show you how to do a bow using a cake breaker, and they are coming out with some really cool tools to do this kind of thing. But I have a video. If you go to my channel, which you're on if you're watching this, if you go to videos and go to oldest, I think it's the 2nd video I ever made, back when we weren't doing videos. It was just for my friends. So you just take a cake breaker, and that's what this is. It's a vintage item that they used to serve cake with. So you leave a tail however long you want, and you can make your ribbon, your bow, any size you want. In this case, I'm going to use 8 tongs. So you have to have an even number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's right here. Then I'm going to go around and then into the middle one, which would be after the 4th one. Okay, I'm just going to pull that there. Go up to the 4th one again, like that. Now let me move this so it's not confusing. So that's what I have. Now I'm going to pull it down to the bottom where it's stronger, and I'm just going to tie 1 knot. And when I do this, I'm going to pull it side to side and tight, very tight. Now when you take that off and you cut your edges however you want them cut, now you have the perfect bow. Isn't that adorable? Now I'm going to use a glue dot. I have a big glue dot I'm going to use because it's handy. And I'm just going to pinch it so it doesn't come out over the bow. And I'm going to put it right there above my foliage. So there you go. The magical card. Okay. Be sure to crease it before you send it. Folds flat, fits in a regular A2 envelope. Add your bling, whatever bling you like. Add your butterfly if you like, but mine flew away. And this is what you get. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep like and subscribe, because I have some amazing videos coming up using the beautiful butterfly hybrid folder and the dies, which are amazing. And I'm going to be doing these 2 cards this week, so within the next week or 2. So this cuts out like that, so that you have a base like that. I've used the Forever Fern, another one of my favorite Forever Fern embossing folder, but you could use whichever you wanted. So anyway, I'm going to do a complete video on this pop-out card, which I already have a short out there, but I may be doing the full video. And then we're also going to be using the blackout technique to make this easel card. And that is just one of my favorite. I have other videos that I'll link, but on these videos that have this technique of the blackout using the 3D embossing folders. So isn't that adorable? And it just lays flat. So if you want to know how to do these 2 cards, I'll be posting them soon. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if you hit the notification bell, it will notify you when I load up another video. So thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you taking the time. So for now, may all of your layers be straight and all of your bling shine. See you next time. Bye for now.